inclusive spiritual community offering practical tools and uplifting resources to help people of all walks of life apply positive spiritual principles in their daily lives. And I would ask, if you have not already, please silence your phone. And would you remind me when I get back to silence my phone? I usually do it at home, but I did not this time. And I have I have a word of advice for you this morning. Do not seize the day. That only startles it, and nobody wants to deal with an aggressive day before coffee. Approach it slowly. Avoid eye contact. Maybe offer it a polite nod and act casual. If the day growls, starts making demands, or mentions shenanigans, back away quietly and return to bed. And remember, any pan can be a non-stick pan if you non-cook in it. And now that the government has discontinued pennies, therefore, your 2 cents is no longer needed. I hope you enjoy the service.
Yeah, one announcement, and that is about Amanda's workshops next week. We hope that you'll take advantage of this. This is one way to gain a better understanding of what happens with our bodies when we feel anxious, when we feel fearful, when we feel angry, stressed. Because you've heard what stress does to the body. And so Amanda has done a lot of study and research on this. She's offering the art of feeling, why we react the way we do when we're stressed, and tools to help to move out of that, what we call fight, flight. There's 3 or 4 of them, I think. Flight, fawn. Anyway, we do those things, and she can help us to move out of that. So that workshop is next Sunday from 1 to 2:30. Hope that you can join us for that. Start my day with love, wanna start my day with love. That's what I get more of, is love. I start my day with love, wanna start my day with love. That's what I get more of, is love. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. I start my day with love. Wanna start my day with love. That's what I get more of, is love. I start my day with love. When I start my day with love, that's what I get more of, is love. I choose love, love, love. Love, love, love. I choose it, love, love, love. Love, love, love. I start my day with peace. When I start my day with peace, I feel that sweet release of peace. I start my day I start my day with peace, I feel that sweet release of peace. I choose peace, 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 peace. I feel at peace, peace, peace. I choose peace, peace, peace. I start my day with joy. When I start my day with joy, everything I do is infused with joy. I start my day with joy. When I start my day with joy, everything I do is infused with joy. I choose joy, joy, joy. I feel it, joy, joy, joy. Every day it's joy, joy, joy. I'm choosing joy, joy, joy. Thank you, friend. Good morning. Our word for the day is journey. And I don't think I need to say it without, let's all say it together, the affirmation. My life is a spiritual journey and I share it with others. Life is an ongoing series of journeys. Some are momentous, such as the journey that began when we took that first breath of life. Many are less dramatic, but still part of a sequence of events that have brought us to where we are today. Looking back over our lives, we can often see a rich choreography, a divine pattern that tells us we have not been traveling alone. Indeed, spiritual intuition guidance is the golden thread interwoven throughout all of life's journeys. Divine appointments bring us together with wonderful companions to share our journey. Wherever that journey takes us, we trust that divine presence inspires, guides, and directs us along our way. And let's say our affirmation again. My life is a spiritual journey and I share it with others. And so it is. Over here real quick and then my next. It's always present, nowhere to be. And where you are, the power of now flows up so gracefully. The power of now is always perfect, nothing to be. And who you are, the power of now flows oh so easily. Be willing to let go. everything goes away. Let everything wash away. Power of love. Power of love is ever flowing, connecting the soul to the power of love unfolds so peacefully. Be willing to let go of everything you think you need to know. Oh, be strong enough to let go of everything you think you need to control. For everything goes away. Let everything wash away. Power of love. The power of love. Power of love. Power of love. Good morning. Thank you so much for being here this morning. First of all, have you ever had a cloudy day when it's sunny outside? Yeah. I have actually a story that I want to share with you this morning. It's something you may have heard before. It's called Alexander and the Terrible, Horrible, No Good, Very Bad Day. So if you'll just humor me about 4 or 5 minutes here of story time.
Alexander and the Terrible, Horrible, No Good, Very Bad Day. I went to sleep with gum in my mouth, and now there's gum in my hair. When I got out of bed this morning, I tripped on the skateboard, and by mistake, I dropped my sweater in the sink while the water was running, and I could tell it was going to be a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. At breakfast, Anthony found a Corvette Stingray car kit in his breakfast cereal box, and Nick found a junior undercover agent code ring in his breakfast cereal box. But in my breakfast cereal box, all I found was breakfast cereal. I think I'll move to Australia. In the carpool, Mrs. Gibson let Becky have a seat by the window. Audrey and Elliot got seats by the window too. I said I was being scrunched. I said I was being smushed. I said, if I don't get a seat by the window, I'm going to be car sick. No one even answered. I could tell it was going to be a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. At school, Mrs. Dickens liked Paul's picture of the sailboat better than my picture of the invisible castle. At singing time, she said I sang too loud. At counting time, she said I left out 16. Who needs 16? I could tell it was going to be a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. I could tell because Paul said I wasn't his best friend anymore. He said that Philip Parker was his best friend and that Albert Moya was his next best friend and that I was only his third best friend. I hope you sit on the tack, I said to Paul. I hope the next time you get a double-decker strawberry ice cream cone, the ice cream part falls off the cone part and lands in Australia. There were 2 cupcakes in Philip Parker's lunch bag, and Albert got a Hershey bar with almonds, and Paul's mother gave him a piece of jelly roll that had little coconut sprinkles on the top. Guess whose mother forgot to put in dessert? It was a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. That's what it was, because after school, my mom took us all to the dentist, and Dr. Fields found a cavity just in me. Come back next week and I'll fix it, said Dr. Fields. Next week, I said, I'm going to Australia. On the way downstairs, the elevator door closed on my foot, and while we were waiting for my mom to get the car, Anthony made me fall where it was muddy, and then when I started crying because of the mud, Nick said I was a crybaby. And while I was punching Nick for saying crybaby, my mom came back with the car and scolded me for being muddy and fighting. I am having a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. I told everybody. No one even answered. So then we went to the shoe store to buy some sneakers. Anthony chose white ones with blue stripes. Nick chose red ones with white stripes. I chose blue ones with red stripes, but then the shoe man said, "We're all sold out." They made me buy plain old white ones, but they can't make me wear them. When we picked up my dad at his office, he said I couldn't play with his copying machine, but I forgot. He also said to watch out for the books on his desk, and I was careful as could be except for my elbow. He also said don't fool around with his phone, but I think I called Australia. My dad said please don't pick him up anymore. It was a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. There were lima beans for dinner, and I hate limas. There was kissing on TV, and I hate kissing. My bath was too hot, I got soap in my eyes, my marble went down the drain, and I had to wear my railroad train pajamas. I hate my railroad train pajamas. When I went to bed, Nick took back the pillow he said I could keep, and the Mickey Mouse nightlight burned out, and I bit my tongue. The cat wants to sleep with Anthony, not with me. It has been a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. My mom says some days are like that, even in Australia.
So we've all had adult versions of Alexander's terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. I can so relate to that. I'm not going to talk about it now. I want to talk about it a little bit later, but on Saturday, after my horrible day, on Friday, I was walking and had the thought about that book and thought, oh my gosh, that's a perfect book to share. So let's begin as we've been doing with our attunement this morning. And I invite you to maybe take a deep breath and make a point of relaxing your body and turning your attention away from the outer experience to the heart center as we attune together. I am in the upper room. I have come. I have come. I have come. Behold, I make all things new. God is. God is. God is. Now you're tuned up. So we are, as you may know, not everybody has been with us through this whole series. We are in the middle of exploring the 5 steps of Unapologetic Manifestation by Rev Ken Daigle of Unity of San Francisco. We started with step 1, which was really about looking at the content of our minds and seeing what we needed to give some attention to, maybe what needed to be rooted out and what needed to be planted. The second week, Shift Your Consciousness, we looked at these 4 levels of spiritual consciousness, and where often at the lowest vibration we see everything happening to us. And shifting our consciousness to the next level takes our power back. Things happen for me or by me. And then even going further to more of a vessel consciousness, where we realize that there is a power greater than us that can work through us. And finally, at the most highest level of consciousness, we remember that we live, move, and have our being in God, and that God lives, moves, and has expression as us, that we are part of that oneness that is God and all things. So this can happen when we're aware. And I'm going to tell you about my experience with shifting or not in a little bit. So step 3, last week, take concrete steps. And we talked about there's just those times when it's time to get off our butts and actually take some action toward what it is that we intend for our lives. And finally, today we're looking at share your journey. So I'm calling it, who are you gonna call? Is there anybody out there? So you remember that movie, right? Who are you gonna call? Right, so who do you call when you have ghosts? Ghostbusters. Who do you call when you have a dream, an intention, or when you have a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day? Who can you call when you have that something that is alive within you that wants to be expressed? Have we tamped it down, folks? Is there something greater for you, something that is your potential good that you would like to make a manifestation in your life? So we already said the first half of this affirmation with the word today, journey. And then this is Ken's additional part of the affirmation for step 4, share your journey. So together, my life is a spiritual journey and I share it with others. I am open and receptive to the flow of ideas, resources, and collaborators as I manifest my highest good. In the book, he talks about speaking from the 3rd vault. So I want to give you some examples. You may be pretty familiar with this type of sharing, that oftentimes when we don't feel really close to someone, we still stay sort of at the socially polite level, just speaking from our head. And then with some people that we may know, maybe we see them more often. We see them at the park when we take our dog. We might share at more of a heart level. We're really sharing a little bit more about our lives and our experiences. But I want to give you some examples that he shares in here about these different levels of speaking. So here's an example from the first vault. The weather is perfect today. I think I'll have lunch outside. And the second vault, more from the heart. I took my family out for a picnic in the park this weekend. The weather was so nice. And the kids had been stuck inside on their devices. I thought we could all use some fresh air, and it really made us feel more connected as a family. And finally, the third vault. And this is called actually speaking from the gut, what we're experiencing in the moment. So here's an example of that. I couldn't bring myself to go outside this weekend, even though the weather was perfect. I felt stuck and exhausted. Honestly, I wanted to crawl into bed and cry, but instead I binge-watched Netflix all day. Today I feel better, maybe because I'm here with you, and this feels like a safe space. Wow. Do you feel that shift from head to heart? So then the question becomes again, who you gonna call? Who is it in your life that you can share from the third vault, or just the gut? Or maybe you call it something else, your intuition, your deeper guidance. And I think of it as the heart, but it is true, it's sort of a combination of the heart and the head. Ken said, in 2008, I was filling out my application to Unity Ministerial School. It was an opportunity on the application to share my life story and the lessons I'd learned from it. I had a fellow minister review my application, and she suggested I avoid using the phrase, my husband, worried it might upset conservative members of the admissions committee. This was before same-sex marriage was legal nationwide, and it was still controversial, even in California. I told her that if sharing my truth derailed my acceptance, it wasn't the right program for me. I had learned that changing who I am to make others comfortable would never fulfill me or align me with my dreams. Can you imagine for a moment being married and not feeling that you could safely share that with anyone and everyone? And that's just a recent, if you want to call it, freedom that's been actualized for some of our brothers and sisters. So I don't know if you're like me, and I tend to be an introvert, I tend to be a private person. I don't have a big group of people that I share with from the third vault. And that's okay, because I have those that I can share with, and I do share with. And you may even think, what are you talking about, Natalie? Don't you share everything with us on Sunday mornings? I know it may seem like I do sometimes, but no, there are some things that I don't share. But what I am committed to is being myself. People have said to me, I love how you're, so authentic and you're just yourself. And I always say, I can't be anybody else. And I certainly can't do that up here on Sunday mornings, because I'm committed to sharing from my heart and sometimes from the vault. Some of you have been here since the very beginning of this Unity Center, which means that you were here when Barry and I came to lead the center, which has been, I think, 18 and a half, 19 years ago. It's been many, many years ago. And so those of you who have known me all of that time know that I have really struggled with speaking and with being a leader. And that's why I make it a point of sharing with you about my struggle, because it's been obvious at times. And so I might as well just speak to it. You know, they talk about naming the dragon, and when you name the dragon, it disappears. Well, that hasn't been my experience, but so I would like to tell you a little bit about my Friday, which ended up being a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. And I spent the day there. I did not shift out of victim. So it all started with mayonnaise. We make our mayonnaise, and I know that sounds like, well, that would be a big job, but it's really not. It's very simple, as long as everything goes right. And what happened was that apparently some water got into the mayonnaise, and so it ended up just being runny, and I had to dump it down the drain. And I know that seems like a small thing, but that was an important part of my lunch, and I was very hungry. It was lunchtime. So it started there. And then it moved to the printer that wouldn't print. See, this is the adult version. And I had a document that I was trying to print out that I was going to take with me to a very important meeting. And this very important meeting, of course, I was watching the clock get closer and closer to when I needed to leave as I'm trying to get the printer to print. And finally I gave up and didn't take the document, and got there just at 1 o'clock and found the door locked. So I called the person, and the person said, "Oh, that was today?" And so the meeting got moved back to 2:30. So I went back and I got in my car, and it was like, all this stuff is happening to me. And I chose to take the moment and be conscious about how I was responding to it. But I didn't take long enough to really shift out of it. I decided, because this is what this is sort of the pattern of this body. And I'm not a body. I am free. I am as God created me. I'm spirit. I'm divine. I'm omnipresent and omnipotent. All of these things that we are, even though we have decided to take on these human bodies for a while. So I decided that human aspect of me, that ego side of me, decided, well, I better get some stuff done in this next hour and a half. So I had errands. I went here and I went there, and I saved the longest one to last. And just as I started to enter that last errand, I got a call from the 1 o'clock appointment who said, well, now I can meet at 2. So now I don't have time to do that final errand, and I'm rushing back to get to the appointment, only to find after over an hour that he could not help me in any way. Terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. And I will be honest with you, by the time I got home, I was so exhausted that I went to bed hoping that I would wake up in Australia. Boing. So I know that I'm not alone with this. And it is true what Alexander's mother said, that some days are like that. Some days, and I'm here to say, please don't be down on yourself, because there will be times when we're not able to shift. And that's not because that higher self of us is not present and part of us and even living, expressing as us. It hasn't deserted us. We're just having a day where we're very grounded in this life that we chose. And that's very easy to have a day like that. Just turn on the news. Just get a little extra liquid in your mayonnaise. Just have somebody cancel that appointment, because I know that I'm not the only one who has beliefs that are erroneous. And the belief that I held on that day was that everything was supposed to go the way I wanted and needed it to go. And that just was not mine to experience that day. And I even, as I sat there in the car, I even thought momentarily about, what is the teacher here? What is my opportunity here? What is the good about that? And part of what came out of it was, I can run these errands, and that was the moment. That was going to be the moment that would shift me out of that energy. So yeah, sometimes it's just time to go to bed. So sharing from that third vault, one of the things that Ken says in the book is that it doesn't matter if you don't have someone like that, because you can create them. And I was blessed that I grew up with an addiction. And there was a point at which my life really became so out of control that I needed help. And I found the 12-step programs. And in those meetings, and there are meetings probably not locally every hour of every day, but you could get online and find something every hour of every day. In those meetings, we were committed to sharing what we called our experience, strength, and hope. That's third vault sharing. So in other words, this is what I've been through, and this is where I am, and here's my vision of where I'm going. Here's my intention. Here's my potential. And you feel the energy in the room of people joining you in not only the experiences that you've had and your strength, but also in your joy of your vision for how your life will continue to get better and can continue to get better. So if you don't have that, create it. And there's even the beauty of the book. He has step-by-step ways to create your own group of people who can work with you to realize your dreams. Because that idea of collaborating can really shift things, can bring in feedback and new ideas and resources. So I'm going to close this morning from another quote directly from Ken. We are never truly alone on our journey. We are always supported by a network of people, family, friends, co-workers, and even those who quietly uplift us behind the scenes. They are the soil in which our dreams take root and grow. When we share our journey, we don't just enrich our own lives, we contribute to a larger tapestry of abundance, where every person's success strengthens the collective. The process of sharing, connecting, and growing together allows us to manifest dreams that are brighter, richer, and more beautiful than anything we could achieve on our own. And so it is. So let's take a little period of meditation here. And for this meditation, I'm going to take you through the Kaizen move. Kaizen. Thank you, person who took the time to figure out how it's correctly pronounced. Kaizen. If you'll recall from last week, we talk about this as a Japanese word that literally translates to change good. And the Kaizen move is taking an action towards that good. So let's take a moment, if you will, if it's comfortable for you, to take a deep breath and really relax into the chair, feeling how the chair supports you. Relaxing, letting go, releasing any tension, and knowing that there is no place that you need to be except in this moment with this experience of relaxing and letting go and focusing. So I invite you to ask a specific question of your higher self. A question about some greater good in your life, whatever that may be. Maybe you look around in your life and it's overwhelming, the things that you would like to improve. So simply ask, what is the one thing that is mine to work to and be open to improving, moving into a higher place with something that feels like a higher vibration, some greater good. And often when we dream or intend something, there's a critic in our head that wants to say, you can't do that. Or why would you waste your time? Or that's too expensive. Or you don't have time. And that voice needs you, your higher aspect, to gently quiet it. It's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. We can do this. Allow that higher aspect of you that is confident and calm and certain and at peace and knows this is yours to do. Let that aspect of you take over and guide you, inspire you as to one concrete action to take today toward that greater intention for your life. This is the Kaizen move. You too can make wonderful Japanese moves in your life. Good change. Change good. And so breathe now and know that there is no expectation here. There's no judgment. Always. It is just a simple invitation. And the invitation involves playfulness and joy and fun. It involves shifting and loving yourself through it. And so it is.
Many lives, beliefs, and faiths, many minds refuse to change. There is one source of life. We all know this deep inside. Many rivers are returning their own way to one source. Many rivers are converging with the one unchanging force in our lives. Many souls upon the earth, many lost lives, many hurts. But there is one force we all feel. There is one love that will heal. Many rivers are returning their own way to one source. Many rivers all converging, the one unchanging force in our lives. Though our eyes may fool our minds, in our hearts we recognize we are not two souls, you and I. Many rivers are returning in their own way to one source. Many rivers all converging with the one unchanging force. Well, I can listen and I can love you, even if we don't agree. Where we come from, where we're going, is the same for you and me. Like many rivers, we're returning in our own way to one source. Like many rivers, we're converging with the one unchanging force in our lives.
That was wonderful. Thank you. I love that book. And now we want to welcome all of you, and particularly anyone who is here for the first time. I know we have one or two that have come back. Is this your? It's not your first time, is it?
Mine?
Yes.
Yeah, it's the second time.
It is your first time.
Second.
Second time. We are delighted to have you back, and we love all of you here. And I just think it's exciting every time I come here to get to see and talk to you guys. I just love that. And now we have our love gift affirmation, and there's the boxes underneath all the chairs and the tip tap in the back, and any way that you want to give. And we are so grateful for anything that you're able to give. And what a blessing it is that we have enough that we can share. I mean, that's one of my favorite things. I think it's just wonderful. And we thank all of you for helping to make this ministry possible. So let's join together in our love gift affirmation. Today,
I feel deeply blessed and grateful for the goodness that surrounds me.
that I effortlessly attract opportunities, joy, and love, aligning my energy with the life I dream of living. I trust that the universe is guiding me as I step closer to my highest potential. And so it is.
Holy light, thank you for my life. Holy light, thank you for my life. It shines so bright here and now, here and now.
Pop up. Thank you, one person. Something good is always happening in the world. When we look for the good, we find it. When we focus on the good, it expands. Here's today's segment of Pop-Up Positivity. What I did for today was I'd like to share with you an email story that came to our prayer team from Nancy Patke, who is a counselor in one of the local elementary schools. As a counselor, she does guided meditation with the children. So this was, I think it was about a month ago. She said 2 weeks ago, I was doing the guided meditation with all of the classes, the different classes, preschool through 4th grade. They lay or they sat while being guided through breathing, relaxing, and then into a meadow with sights, sounds, and smells. They were then told that the person who makes them feel the safest walked out of the forest, sat next to them, hugged them, and whispered in their ear how special they are, how proud of them, and how worthy they are, etc. It was so beautiful. All the students participated, were silent. You know, that's quite an accomplishment there in itself, and engaged. Many said it was their favorite activity of the entire year. Some said, I can do this at home. A few cried after seeing loved ones they can't see anymore, but liked it. Then I did it with my staff meditation group, and they liked it too. What a wonderful week. So that's some good top up that I just wanted to share. So yeah, Jerry's not here today, so let's come together for our closing song. Time is right. Go out and shine your light. Go out and shine. Go out and shine. One voice, one heart, one heart. Wanna change, just make a start. We're one big family. It's good for you, it's good for me. Go out and shine your light. You know the time is right. Go out and shine your light. Go out.